So now we need to work on the walls and leave the ceiling separate. I'm going to choose my polygon lasso tool again. This time I'm going to start off of the picture so I know exactly where my starting point was. So I'm going to click here and then I'm going to click this little edge here. Carefully look at the bad paint job here. We want to clean that up. I'm going to carefully trace around my image. Careful, this will jump all over the place if you let it. So once again, it requires a lot of mouse control to do this. You can do it. That'll give us our nice sharp edge. So now, put it in the room, and you can see the walls are selected, but the actual carpet and the ceiling are not. We want to keep those separate since it'll give us the sense of dimension. Now, back to our clone stamp here. You notice my brush size here was pretty small, which was excellent for the carpet. And notice if I try to fix, like I see a little scrap down here, if I try to fix it, it won't let me because I don't have that selected. I can only clean up right here. So if I accidentally go off the board, it doesn't show up on the rug because it wasn't selected. Now, if I try to clean up this smudge by just doing that, look at that awful, awful spot. I just made a clean spot. We don't want to do that. What we want is it to look smooth, and there's so many subtle gradations in this wall. You want a nice big brush. So I'm going to go over here, see the 66 here? I'm going to change this to something nice and big. Yeah, maybe even a little bigger. So that way I get the subtle gradation from light to dark. I'm going to take my Alt key now and click on a spot that I want to copy, and then I'm going to slowly go up the wall. Take your hand off the mouse frequently and see how that blended right into the different. We don't want to lose that beautiful gradation from dark to light. So over here, same kind of thing. I'm going to Alt click here, and then, well, I'm going to click right next to what I want to erase so I keep the same tone. So Alt click here, and then here, and then here, and then look at this. Now, most of this little heater is going to that's going to disappear when we do our next job. So I'm going to be very careful. I don't want to lose that corner. And again, I don't have it selected, just one side of the wall. So I'm not going to go up close there. I know most of this is going to be covered up. I'm going to go back to a smaller brush now because I can't fit in and get rid of that plug. So here I'm going to choose a smaller brush just by playing around with this lever. And the hardness has to do, I want something that's very soft. If I want a very strong brush with sharp edges, I'll choose hardness. So I'm going to choose something along here. You can always go over here to see the size of your brush. And I'm going to choose right here, click once with my Alt key, with holding down my Alt key, and then click once or twice to get rid of that little plug. I can click once or twice here, but like I said, most of this is going to be covered up because we're going to put our stuff in this room next. And remember, you can daydream all you want and put all the things that you possibly wanted in life. You can fit into this room and treasure map and dream big if you want. I think I'll go over here and I get rid of this little cable just in case it does show up. Okay, and keep that wall nice and smooth. Now, go under adjust. We're going to play around with that color balance again. And I'm going to change, obviously, yellow and purple, complementary colors there. Don't look that great. So I'm going to change this to a little orange here and a little magenta here and maybe a little blue here. That's kind of eerie looking, huh? Highlights, I will change it to magenta. I want to lose the yellow. I want to lose the yellow completely. And then I'll do there. And then, of course, the shadows. Lose the yellow. Lose the green and the yellow. And then, of course, let's see. I might go back to the midtones here and do a little more pink. Maybe I'm not. Maybe I'm into the green. Or look, if you get the magenta out, you might go to white. Maybe you want a white wall. Or maybe I want a cool blue wall. Yeah, that's one of my favorite colors right there. Okay, the blue. And if you don't like this back window, this back wall here, if you think it's too yellow still, you could go in with your polygon lasso and just select. That's an easy square to select. You can just select the back wall and then change it. I happen to like the graduated tones, so of course now I'm going to layer flatten image and then choose my polygon lasso and do the same thing to the ceiling. Any way you want it. You can make your ceiling a different color if you want. You can make it the same or you can make it another color, however you want to do that. I'm going to make it a little bit different. Now it looks like there's a trim around the wall. I kind of like that too. Yeah, I like the trim. See how it looks like there's a crown molding around the wall? The room's already getting cleaned up. Okay, so once you get that the way you want it, I'm happy with that. Layer, flatten image, and there you go. Now we want to cut out the window. So polygon lasso around this. Didn't quite get the corner, did I? There we go, right up there. We want to get rid of all the trash. Notice here I didn't have to clean stamp out the trash because I am deleting the actual window. Okay, I'm going to hit the delete key. You can also go edit, cut, and it's asking me, see this dialog box that came out? It's asking me, do you want to fill in the background with black or white? We want to fill it in with white for now, so it's easy to grab later. You'll see what I mean by that. White. Okay, and there's my white window in the background. Now, if you want to make this into a door, you can make it into a door. You can make it into another window. You can make it into whatever you want. Just remember, that's a little bit off, so I'll go here. And then here. Delete, white. Okay, there's my door. And I could clone stamp that crown molding all the way to the floor if I want. I'll see what I'm going to do with that later on. So anyhow, that shows how you clean up the room. And look at this trash here. Now is the time where you can go in with your polygon lasso tool. Watch this neat little trick. I'm going to select this wall. Go back to my starting to select it. And then the wall isn't really what I want. I want the stuff outside of the wall, but I want to keep that edge nice and clean. So I'm going to go select inverse. Now, when I take my clone stamp, you can see everything's selected except that wall. Now I can go right up to the wall. Be careful this corner because that corner's not selected. That allows me to go right up to the wall and clean up that. Then I can go select inverse again, and now I can get that nice little edge there that I wanted before. See, because I can go all along the wall, because the only thing that's going to show is the area that I've selected. And then remember, always select, deselect. So if you ever wonder why your clone stamp's not working, it's probably because you've selected the wrong area. So in the next part, we're going to talk about how to move in stuff and also what to put in this window back here, because I am going to be looking. I want everyone to have a window, so I want everyone to be looking out on it. And like again, you can imagine yourself anywhere in the world that you want to be. So see you for the next lesson.